Hey everybody, welcome to Life in the Higham house. We are kicking off a new season. We are transforming our living room from our summer coastal vibe into our traditional autumn back to school look. So if you're interested to see how things were and what they're going to be, make sure you stay tuned. We'll be right back. It's Life in the Higham house. Let's go. Alright friends, welcome back to Life in the Higham house. We have been, or at least I have been, wanting to share this video with you guys for quite a while. So many of you know we moved at the beginning of the year into Ohio. We are renting this cute little, we call it our lakeside cottage. And I've been wanting to share some of the cottage with you, at least in the way that we chose to decorate it. So if you've followed the channel for any length of time, we've kind of embraced certain atmospheres and ambiances and decor. Since we live mostly in the rural, hilly / mountainy area, we tend to lean towards rustic. We tend to go towards farmhouse. We look at, cabin, farmhouse type things. Those are generally where you find our decor. So places like Hobby Lobby are right in that space for us. And so we spend a lot of time at Hobby Lobby looking for things that match our decor style. But when we moved out here, we moved to an area that sits on the lake. And we wanted to try to do a little different decorating this time around. And so instead of going with the traditional farmhouse, mountainy, rustic, cabin type of a thing, we said let's embrace the local kind of feel of the space. And so we're in an area where it feels very coastal, almost feels like we are on vacation somewhere. It's a very small, well-knit, safe, quiet community. And so the idea of lakefront, beachfront, like that's kind of the theme that runs through the area. And so you said, well, what it would look like if we embrace that? Now, we have nothing in our decor repertoire that's going to allow us to do all of that. And so when we first moved here, it was still winter and we went shopping. We could not find anything that really struck us as appropriate for our style, our flavor of decor, or anything that we really liked. Until this past spring, we went out and we found some items that we absolutely loved, and we were finally able to move into this space where we could embrace what I call a rustic coastal cottage decor. So let me just show you a little bit around our living room and the pieces that we picked up back in June that helped us pull off the look and the feel that we absolutely love in this little space that we have. So let's start the tour. Alright, so here's a wide shot of the living room. Again, it's small, it's cozy, but it totally fits the coastal vibe that we were going for. It's got a nice high ceiling that goes all the way up. It's already been painted in this kind of a light gray, I'm not even sure what kind of color it is, but it's got a nice base color for us. The curtains were already here when we got in, so we left those. And so with the walls what they were, we wanted to kind of bring in those tones and bring in some light blues and coastal elements. And so one of the first things we picked up was a carpet that throw down here to soften a little bit of the space. It's all hardwood floors underneath, so this softens the space and it pretty much fills the entire room. But we really like this, picked it up on Amazon, wasn't super crazy expensive, but it's very light, it's very thin, and so we put a pad underneath of it just to give it a little bit of cushion on your feet. Otherwise, I think it would be miserable to walk on. Now you're going to see some elements and furniture and decor that is going to be very familiar. It's stuff that we brought with us. Then we have a few things that are brand new. So let's start on the back wall here. Now this is not a new piece of furniture. We had this in our basement. This was our fireplace that we put in the basement that helped us give a little bit of heat when the kids were downstairs. We brought that with us, fits nicely underneath that window, and becomes a focal point for us in the living room. This summer, part of our decor shopping trip was that we picked up this really cool branch driftwood with those 5 carved wood birds on it. And since we have 5 kids, we thought how appropriate to have this really cool piece. And it was sitting on top for a little while, and then Amy moved it down here, which I kind of like because it gives us on top the space for us to put some of the pictures of the kids and the grandkids, and that's been really fun. To either side of the fireplace we have our bookcases. You'll remember these from our house in West Virginia. We picked these up a number of years ago from IKEA. We loved them then. I think we still enjoy them now. The one thing I wanted to do when we moved out here is to make the bookcases look more like bookcases and less like collection places. So we start at the top. We've got some familiar pieces up top. We would have used those in different locations around the house back in West Virginia. And then instead of taking all of my books to the office, we brought some of my books home, some of Amy's books, some of our family books, and then of course at the bottom we've got some of our photo albums. But some pieces that we picked up that we absolutely love, again going with the rustic coastal cottage look. Found this really cool shark out of wood. Picked that up. Amy was hunting all over the place for an anchor. We found a bunch of them, but they were a little too big for the space, and then she came across this one and it fits absolutely perfect. So you gotta love the anchor there. On the other side, the same thing. We brought some books in to make sure our bookshelves look like bookshelves. And then some more familiar decor on the top. One of the other pieces that serve as a center point in this room is the H. We've used that in a number of different looks as we've decorated around the house. It's been on the fireplace, it's been on the wall, it's been over a TV. When we moved in, we thought this was a great spot for it, so climbed up, put that up there, and then we went and got a couple accent lights from Walmart so that we could brighten up the top of the room, which gets pretty dark at night, and brighten things up a little bit. Leaving West Virginia, one of the things that we left behind was some of our old furniture that was in really poor shape. Stuff that we've had for years that just with 5 kids, a dog, countless youth group events and countless youth group activities and events, our furniture took a pretty big hit. So we decided instead of bringing stuff that was broken, we would get rid of and then maybe look for something new. Also, being in a small space, we had to find things that could double as secondary items. So we went shopping, found this really nice sofa that also doubles as a sleep sofa. We love the color. We wanted to go with a light color so that we had more flexibility in how we decorate it. And then we picked up these 2 pillows as part of our rustic coastal cottage shopping expedition. And we love them so much we actually bought 4, and you'll see them on the other sofa in just a second. And here's a familiar piece that we brought with us from West Virginia. We had just purchased this before we moved, and so this is our little love seat. And again, we put matching pillows on here, and these pillows are crazy soft, crazy comfortable, and lots of fun. The other thing about moving into a smaller space is that we had to think carefully about what we did with storage. And so not only does the fireplace serve as a focal point, but there's also storage on both sides, and so we're able to put some things away there. But when we moved here, Amy saw these side tables, which we loved because they were high enough to put next to the sofa, but big enough that we can actually open them up and put storage in them. And so this is probably going to be a mess, but there you are. Toys for when the grandkids come to visit. And we got matching, so there's one on each side. And on this one here, we've got more toys for when the grandkids come. So it allows us to have some flexibility in the space, but also do some storage. And it's been a long time since we've ever bought anything and actually had two of the same. So the first time that we've had tables in our living room that match. And then on top of it, we picked up a few more elements. So this really cool sailboat struck us. We loved it, thought it'd be appropriate, and it looks great. The blue comes in and matches with the rest of the blue in the area. Just gotta love that. And on this side, we found this really cool blue vase, and we picked up some blue flowers to drop in there. Alright, I have to put some lights on so you could actually see things a little better. But there's the blue vase. Still a little dark in the shadows. One of our really favorite pieces of our summer shopping decor was this great wood whale. Call him Humphrey. He is just probably one of my favorites. He looks great right here on the hope chest and really fits the decor of the space nicely. And I love that we can name him. So that's Humphrey. Humphrey the whale. And again, you'll see certain pieces of furniture that came with us from West Virginia. So our recliner rocker is squeezed into the corner back there. We have our antique trunk that has followed us for a number of years. And then Amy's mom's old hope chest, which Amy refinished about a year ago. So again, thinking through small space, how do we move a big house into a small space? Both of these have storage, and so they have books, they have games, they have other things that we can keep and still have at the house. You remember our rocking chair? Amy got a new cushion for that. And then off on this wall is where we put our ridiculously massive TV with our old TV stand, and then some familiar decor here on the bottom. And so the space isn't large, but it works and it makes for a really nice space, and we've really been happy here these last 8 months or so. Love the decor. A few more items that we picked up just to help us embrace this idea of coastal living. It's been a lot of fun to decorate and shop for things that we wouldn't normally decorate or shop with. And so it's been fun. Alright, so there you have it. There is our rustic coastal cottage. We absolutely have come to enjoy being in. It's not our forever home. We don't anticipate being here very long. In fact, we're going to be actively looking for a house here shortly. We'd love to have our new home by the holidays. But this has been a great space for us to kind of move in, get settled, get to work, meet some folks, learn the area. And because, again, we are in this lake community, it feels very beachy, very coastal. It's not mountain lake, it's definitely like seashore beach feel. So we've enjoyed getting to embrace that and decorate our place according to that. And I think our hope is, as we get a house, that we're going to kind of try to merge the two decors together. We still are very much farmhouse and country living, still very much mountain and rustic. But if we're going to be close to the water, and coastal is still one of the decor themes in the area, we're going to try to marry that in. So the things that we have purchased for this house, we'll take with us to the new, and we'll find spaces for them and be able to rotate them into our seasonal decorating. So summer, fall, winter, Christmas, like we have very specific decor styles in each of those seasons. So we're looking forward to being able to embrace some of that as we move forward. And it's been a little hard because being in this smaller space, there's not as much to decorate. And so a lot of our stuff is sitting in bins waiting to be reopened. And that's what we're going to do next. We're going to get ready to launch our fall decorating. And so we will be tearing all of the stuff that I just showed you down, and we will be putting up our fall stuff. And we have a lot of fall stuff. So I'm not really sure how this is all going to go. We're already talking about doing some major rearranging in the living room, and then hopefully we'll have some leftover stuff that I'll be able to take to my office and use to decorate my office with. And then who knows, maybe we'll do an office video as well. But that's going to do it for this episode. Thanks so much for watching. We hope you've enjoyed the look at our rustic coastal cottage. Hope you enjoyed it. We do. As always, be sure you like and subscribe, and check us out here on the next one. Until then, it's life in a Higham house. Later.